What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy, Ivana Tinkle, and you already know my other guy over here,
Got
Creme
Alex
Brulee.
Money Rutania with the bets coming through.
All right, let's get it started. At
All right,
number
switch
one,
over some.
we got Tafon the Don versus Azamat.
Yeah, so for this one, we got Tefan Chukwi versus Azamat Murkanov. Both some really stiff fighters. I mean, Azamat is coming off that Contender Series knockout, which was, I guess it was cool, but I don't know. He was looking stiff, just like Tefan looked against Jung Yoon Park. Let's take a look at these guys. I mean, off the bat, he was, first of all, even though he had one fight in 2021,
And that was
Azamat,
Contender
and that was the
Series.
Contender
Yeah.
Series too, against you know Matua Sheffield. But see, the thing with that fight was it was just a stand up, pretty much pit and pat, just tagging. Azamat, I'm gonna keep it a buck. Azamat looked pretty stiff. He got that that lucky. I won't say it's lucky, but it was perfectly timed. But that knockout at the end was cool. Finished him brutally. But besides that, there was nothing really to go off. I mean, this is going to be his UFC debut. He's coming from Brave CF champion. Remember that. I mean, but Andre Muniz was his probably his best win. We saw Andre Muniz now is starting to do some damage in the UFC with that finish over Eric Anders and Jacare Souza with those arm bars, man. So that is a solid win for Azamat. And that was a round one finish too. But like I said, stiff on the feet. The mat control is, I guess, average. And then we look at Tefan. Tefan's coming off of that the win, unanimous over Mike Rodriguez. But then Jung Yoon Park. I mean, I still don't have high hopes for Jung Yoon Park, man. I mean, he's just, I don't know. I don't want to say boring, but I'm not even gonna get into that. But yeah, Jung Yoon Park, who has also beaten William Knight in the past before. William Knight, uh, he's just all muscle for none.
At the end of the day, on this one, you know, I think Tafon got it. I think he has more experience in the UFC, and that record that he holds is more UFC fights than his opponent. He has more experience fighting the top fighters around the world instead of being, from a smaller conference or
Yeah, smaller promotion,
small
definitely.
promotion. That's the word. I definitely am going with the underdog on this one. I think this should be an easy one. I do think Azamat has some experience, but I think I don't think it's
He
gonna
doesn't
go in
have
his
that UFC
favor.
experience just yet.
He's beating him, Tafon beats him in reach. He beats him in size. This should be this should be a nice fight, but it shouldn't be. I think it should be more in the underdog's favor.
Yeah, for this first fight, it's really it's close for me. I mean, really, I would like to take the over. If we just look at that right now, I just want to see what that is at. All right, a minute. I can't see the over right now. They don't have it marked up. But yeah. Overall, I am gonna lean slightly, just slightly towards Azamat. Um, I think it's gonna be a decision. Realistically, I think this is gonna be a close little fight. We'll see what happens. But right off the dot, split for the first fight of the night.
Tafon, here we come.
But I'm not gonna bet that until I can see the over official. Next, we move on to Guido Canetti and yeah, Chris Martino. With this fight, um, yeah, we know Chris Martino, the punching bag for Sean O'Malley. Let's see the reaches. All right, so Guido Canetti is 42 years old. He's 8-6 from Argentina. Strong fighter. Has fought more. I would say more. He's fought tougher competition. 5'6" to 5'7", 68-inch reach to 70. So, all right, Chris is coming in the bigger guy, but still, even on for his UFC debut, Chris didn't really show anything other than he can take a punch, I guess.
I mean, the
But
first guy he fought though wasn't that Sean O'Malley?
yeah,
Yeah, so at the end of the day, you can't really put that against him. I think it has more of a favor than.
Sean now being a ranked fighter, of course. We check out Guido though. I mean, you look at this. Split decision loss to Mena Martinez, which we just saw him fight a couple weeks ago in a very entertaining fight. Batgerel Dana, this man is also, I would say is a problem coming up. But you have to see more from him. But that's another good fight. But look, check this out. Chito Vera lost to Chito Vera. Exhibition match lost to Alejandro Perez. I mean, he's fighting good competition. Chris, on the other hand, Moutinho, I mean, Sean O'Malley before that, CFFC. Um, I believe that was for the title fight. Just that. Oh no, that wasn't. But still, I don't know, man. Chris is just a punching bag to me. It seems. Al Jones, look at him right there. Oh, he knocked Buddy out. We're not getting into that. Yeah, but I don't know. I think it's gonna be a. I think this we won't. I don't think we'll see a finish in this one. If we do see a finish, I would have to go with it being on the Guido Canetti side. But
We
as
gotta.
far as decision props goes, I'm gonna again. I'm not gonna probably bet on this one. I'm gonna slightly lean towards Chris Moutinho, based off what I've seen. Um, yeah, I'm gonna give him the slight edge. I'm gonna go with Chris Moutinho to win the fight on this one.
I'm also going with Chris. It just makes more sense in this. I would assume he's not gonna want to go out there and get embarrassed again.
Hey yo, boss.
All
Indeed.
right, on to the
How
next
dare you?
fight.
How dare you?
Pop that Chris one in there. Let's go on to the next. We got Cody versus Dalcha.
Cody Brundage, Dalcha Lugiambula.
Dal-
Lugiambula. So
Dalcha Lamborghini. Let's go.
27 to 34 years old.
Both these guys' last five fights have been a little, in and out. But let's see what's going
And
on.
there goes that African blood for you. I mean, he's 5'8" with a 76-inch reach, and then Cody's 6 foot with a 72-inch reach. I mean, it's absurd.
Yeah, it's a little crazy right there.
But Dalsha has fought the main event, and Magomed Ankalaev. In that last fight with Marc Andre Barrio, that was he was showing heart in that fight. Marc Andre was controlling the center of the octagon, really just. I mean, it was a clear decision win for Marc Andre, but still, Dalcha, you know, he showed heart in that fight, and that was a tough fight, in my opinion. Before that, he did lose in that round 3 fight with Magomed Ankalaev, which he was, I mean, it was a boring fight until it wasn't, but Magomed, as we know, flatlined him pretty much. But yeah, besides that, he's what is he, 2-2 in the UFC? Yep. So we're gonna see how that goes. He's supposed to fight Carl Robertson too as well. Um, but that fight got canceled. Let me take a look at Cody. That last fight with Nick Maximov, Nate Diaz's boy. I mean, that was it was. I mean, it was in Cody's favor for the first round. I would say first round and a half maybe. Maximov just started really, getting those takedowns done, implementing that jiu-jitsu and just threatening with it. But then before that, the loss to William Knight doesn't really sit well with me. I'm gonna be honest. 2 wins over Eric Lasagna.
There's not too much data on both of them.
There isn't, but based off that Nick Maximov fight, though, I mean, Nick Maximov has proven to be a very solid protege. It's a pick 'em too. Look at that. I mean, plus 105 money coming in on Cody Brundage. So, but I have to break this down. This is what we do predictions. So, I like that last performance with Marc Andre Barrios. I like the heart Dalcha shown, and Marc Andre Barrios is a much better fighter than Cody Brundage. I'm gonna go with Dalcha in this fight.
I agree. I'll go with Dolce. Let's bust it down to the next one. Uh,
Next up, we got a
Sabina
fight.
Mazo and
Yeah,
Marina Maverick.
Sabina Mazo, Miranda Maverick. I mean, this is an easy pick for me. Sabina Mazo, she's been overhyped. She's, I mean, hold on. Let's just check. And first of all, I'm gonna get into Miranda Maverick's robbery in a minute. But look at this.
Alexis
Look at
Davis
their height.
and Maria Agapova.
You got Sabina Mazo coming in with a much taller girl, 5'7", against her Mariah's 5'3", with a 7-inch reach, 4.5-inch reach advantage. Sabina Mazo, we just look at her resume real quick. We saw that too a couple months ago. Maria Agapova finished her. Tough fight with Alexis Davis, but that was a deserved win for Alexis Davis. And then she has the win over Justine Kitch and a split win that was iffy with JJ Aldridge, who was also fighting on this card. But before that, she has a win over Shannon Dobson. So that's these three fights, these three wins in a row were what really got Sabina, I would say, overhyped in my opinion. But look, she lost a decision with Marina Moroz, who was really showed out for Ukraine a couple of about 2 weeks ago. We look at Miranda. I mean, last fight I think it was with Aspen Ladd.
You can hold my hand. Get out of here.
No, it was with Aaron Blanchfield. I believe. Sorry about that. Too slow. Aaron Blanchfield, and then that fight with Macy Barber, which was a split decision loss. I and granted the Aaron Blanchfield fight, she didn't lose that fight, but this was a complete robbery. Macy Barber did not win that fight in like no way, shape, or form. 30-27 to Miranda Maverick, in my opinion. And then, but it's whatever. For that, look at this. Shannon Young exhibition match finished her. Shannon Young, all right. Deanna Bennett too finished Deanna Bennett, but she also lost back in the day too as well. But and that of course the Jillian Robertson win is huge. Granted that Jillian she's older, but she's still showing that she's a real problem in this division. I don't know. This is well I do know, but I mean that range kind of scares me a little bit. But I would have to go with Miranda Maverick as far as her cage control. Sabina Mazo has shown to really break in her last two fights. I'm gonna go with Miranda Maverick, and I'm gonna go with her to win by. This I might go for her to win by finish. I mean, man.
I'd
But
really,
regardless, I mean, decision is more likely. But I'm going with Miranda Maverick.
I'd probably go Maverick and over 1.5 or over two and a
Yeah,
half.
that's definitely a good parlay. Probably get some slimmer, better lines for that as well.
We got Damon and Camuela.
Go ahead. Take this over. Let's see how this goes.
What is going on, guys? We got the Leech versus the Jawaian. Right now, Damon's records look a little spotty, and it also looks like that the Jawaian also starting to make himself a comeback. He found himself a little bit. Obviously, right now the Jawaian has a better reach than him by 2 inches, but at the end of the day, Damon has an inch on him. Let's go
Yeah.
over some of these past fights.
Damon Jackson with that he's coming off a win against Charles Rosa, which was a very that was a beef fight. That fight was he was all bloody, getting cut up, but and he Charles got the best of him for a little bit in the beginning, but when Damon came back, he completely dominated that last 7 minutes of the fight. I mean, it was extraordinary. Of course, he lost to round one finish to Ila Topuria and Movlid Kabulaev, which was also you know I mean he got finished in 10 seconds with the flying knee, but
Sheesh.
yeah, man. I mean, I like Damon. Damon is real strong with his jujitsu, and he's real strong with his mat control, and I like that. Whereas Camilla Kirk, he's coming out LFA champ. He's which a lot of these guys are coming off that win with Makwan Amerikani, which was interesting. I had high hopes for Makwan, but you know, I don't know. I think he's on a downhill slope. But that loss to Billy Quarantillo was a rough fight. I mean, Camuela he was showing off some real impeccable striking in that fight, but everyone gets caught at one point. And then the win over Kevin Kroom and LFA was definitely. I mean, that was one of the more, in my opinion, one of the more impressive wins. Other than that, I mean, we gotta see how this goes. I mean, 4-0 amateur. I do want to go with Damon Jackson, but I don't know if he'll be able to control Camuela like his past opponents. But
Go back to the actual page. I want to see what they're both looking like for odds.
very well.
Go back. Let me see. Hmm.
Yeah, Damon Jackson coming in, 33 years old. About 6 years older. Same height and reach, pretty much. But
I didn't really take a wow.
and you see how everyone. That's what I'm saying. Everyone's on the Damon Jackson side. They like that submission decision prop for him, but I don't know, man. It's all about if he can get that control. Maybe I might lean towards him, but I'm gonna go with Kamala Kirk on this fight. I mean, just off what my instincts are telling me. What are you feeling?
Truthfully, I was gonna go with the leech before, but then now I don't know.
I like the leech by submission. That is a prop. We'd have to take a look at
Yeah,
that.
I'll
I do
take the
like.
underdog on this one. Why not?
Now it's a pick 'em. They're both minus 110. Yeah.
We got Trey.
Yeah,
Trey.
Damon Jackson by submission plus 400. I would take it. I would take a stab at that.
All right, introduce the next one.
Yeah. Trevin Jones and Javid Basharat. I mean, let's check these guys out. Saeed Kakaramonov. I mean, that was controlling fight, embarrassing all around. But he has that knockout win over Mario Batista. Um, but first of all, that was his UFC, well, not his UFC debut, but yeah, second fight in the UFC, which was a good one. But I don't know. Let's take a look at Javid. This is gonna be his UFC debut as well. Um, yeah, Javid. We saw him. I saw him in the Contender Series, this past October, but against Oran, which was he controlled that whole fight, dominated it, and just chose to finish in the third round. But that's really all I've been able to get off of him. I mean, before that, it was all everything was outside of the UFC. He was Rise of Champions was his debut, which is I have high regard for them. But want to know amateur?
The
This is an
snow
interesting
leopard.
fight. This is definitely an interesting fight, but I'm gonna keep it simple. I'm gonna tell you guys right now. I like the experience from I like the experience for Trevin, but my official prediction is gonna be Trevin by finish as the underdog. Will you?
Hmm.
From Guam.
Yeah, I'll take Jones.
Indeed. So we're gonna go with Trevin. Move on.
JJ versus Gilligan.
Gilligan. Gilligan. Yeah, so we got JJ Aldrich for Jane Robertson. Jillian. I mean, she's 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 proven to be a problem, man. She just submitted Priscilla Cachoeira. I mean, JJ gonna be the older fighter. Both of them pretty much the same except for the reach. I mean, Jillian 63-inch reach. JJ 67 and a half. JJ's about I think she's on a 2-fight win streak, I believe. Or yeah, she's on a 2-fight with Cordy Casey and Vanessa Demopoulos. That Vanessa Demopoulos win was impressive. We seen how Vanessa really showed out for her last outing. Lost that split decision to Sabina Mazo, and then got finished by Macy Barber. Okay, but look, the win over Poliana Viana. I mean, she's been around, you know, amateur record. Seems. I mean, she fought Raquel Pennington back in the day for the amateur record. So that's something to keep in mind. Um, yeah. Take a look at Jillian coming off that win with Priscilla Cachoeira. That was a crazy win, and of course Priscilla did rob uh, Jeon Kim too past day, but most of she hasn't. Besides that, she hasn't been active really since
Lost to Maverick.
2020, the early 2020. So lost to Talia Santos, lost to Martin Maverick, won a grappling bout over Catelyn Chukagian, who is a real, but Catelyn's really a striker. But yeah, this is probably going to be the closest fight, in my opinion, for the night. Um, I'm definitely gonna just say this. I'm gonna lean with the over 2.5. But for official predictions, let's just give this a quick go. Official prediction.
Give me JJ.
You're gonna say JJ. I'm not. I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna lean towards Jillian Robertson. Um, I think JJ is a very live dog right now, but I'm gonna go with ATT zone, Jillian Robertson.
We got
We
Matt
got
versus my boy AJ.
Semmelberger versus AJ Fletcher.
That boy
What do
AJ
you?
looks like he could hit a kickflip.
Yeah. What are you thinking on this one, brother?
You know, hmm, this is a hard one. Well, truthfully, Matt does have the size. He has the reach. I think. Hmm.
9-0 for AJ Fletcher as well. Matt Semmelsberger 9-3. So we got an undefeated underdog coming in at
Yeah,
plus 200.
Matt has more experience, I believe, within. Yes, he's been around since 2020.
Yeah, with a knockout win for that was crazy. Just a quick flat line against Jason Witt. lost that decision to Chaos Williams, who has shown that he can be a decision fighter, even though people know him for his knockout power. And another just electric finish against Martin Samuel. I mean, this guy just really can just put dude. He puts dude's lights out, man. Put it that way.
Let's check the ghost. AJ Fletcher. Right now,
AJ's undefeated. UFC
contenders.
debut.
So yeah,
Leonardo Damiani. That was I mean, yeah, he's finishing dudes just like Matt. He's finishing dudes in the first round. But yeah, go check it out.
hmm. I think. Oof, I'm gonna go with Matt for this one.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with that. I'm gonna go with Matt Summonsberger, and I'm gonna go with him by finish.
Matty boy by finish. All right, Bruno Silva versus Alex Pereira. I think this one, Bruno, he's been doing his thing as of recently. Um, he's a little bit younger by 2 years, which that doesn't so that really doesn't make too much of a difference within this fight. He's a pound on him, which doesn't really mean too much. Alex does have 4 inches on him, on the other hand, and also has a 6 inch longer reach. I think at the end of the day, Alex Pereira, he's a good fighter when it comes to stand up, but in terms of the actual ground game, that's where I feel like it's a little iffy.
Yeah, man. I mean, Bruno Silva, he's a powerhouse on the feet. He likes to knock people out. His last fight with Jordan Wright, and then before that, I believe, was with Andrew Sanchez. We'll get into those real quick. That Jordan Wright fight, pretty cut and dry. Finished him. Uh, Jordan came out looking really nervous, and he wasn't like he was stiff on the feet. However,
He beat that boy Beef Wellington.
yeah, yeah, and he did beat Wellington. He knocked Wellington Thurman out in that first round, which was a fairly contested first round until basically just ended with the ground. I mean, once he got taken down, Wellington pretty much got smothered and got finished. But that Andrew Sanchez fight, Bruno was losing that fight. He was losing that fight badly. I mean, getting controlled, taken down like 7 times, just and then Andrew stacking up points, which also shows me that Bruno, he still has cardio that can bring him back to life. He still has the harden to bring him back to life in later rounds. Bruno, he came through and just basically he got up to his feet and was able to find that opening, and he just completely demolished Andrew Sanchez. So he's shown that. But when you're talking about Alex Pereira, I mean, everyone knows him from knocking out Israel Adesanya. He's kickboxing champion. Coming off that flying knee, went to Andres Michailidis, which I'm going to be honest, he got taken down, I believe, like 3 or 4 times in that fight, and pretty much just got manhandled until he was like his opponent was able to find the opening, get to his feet, find the opening, and work on their feet. Both these fighters work on their feet. I don't. This is not going to hit the mat unless someone's noggin hits the canvas. So
I think Bruno Silva's experience is going to go a little bit further in this fight, in my opinion. I don't
yeah, but
know.
what experience? I mean, I believe that Bruno only has 2 fights in the UFC.
I believe it was three.
Well, 3 fights. So if we check that out, yeah, he's 3 fights in the UFC. Before that, no kickboxing background, pretty much fighting in Brazil.
But he was fighting
When
MMA still.
yeah, but this is what I'm saying. That would be good. That and this is where we split on this. That would be good and all, but he doesn't do jujitsu. Like I mean, he does it, but he does not implement it in his game plan. He's going to be fighting a stand-up fight with Alex Pereira, a kickboxing champion, who is who beat Israel Adesanya. He beat what was it twice? Yeah, he beat Izzy twice. 1 decision, 1 knockout. I mean, on the feet. I'm gonna have to. I mean, look at that. I'm gonna have to go with right here, decision and a knockout. I gotta go with. Because I just don't see it in the mat. I don't see them having grappling exchanges like that. I'm gonna go Alex Pereira.
I don't know. I feel like if other guy gets the job done properly, then if Bruno can, then it really be wouldn't mean anything because once Alex was on the ground, he wasn't looking too hot. He's the slight favorite, but I'm gonna go with Bruno for this one.
Very well. We're split on that one again. Next fight. Let's go and check it out.
Are you trying to touch my hand, brother?
We got one of your
Now we got a
favorites.
hot rocket.
We got your favorite. Go
Yum.
ahead.
We got Drew Dober versus Terrence McKinney. Terrence McKinney's coming back after what, 2 weeks? That man's coming out as a hot dog.
And of course, we were split that last 2 weeks ago,
most people would
and
bet
he got
against
that.
this. Anybody who's taking up a fight that quick. But in my opinion, I'm taking McKinney. I'm taking McKinney for. I'm just taking McKinney. I think he's gonna knock him out, but I wouldn't bet on that because every time I've said something like a specific time to finish, they just ended up winning by just outright winning. But I'm gonna go Terrence McKinney. This goober over here is gonna go with Dober. We're gonna see who's really right.
So everyone knows, my last fight out, we were split on it. I took Ferris Dion in that fight. He, I think the nerves got to him. I could see it before the fight. The nerves had got to him, and he pretty much tapped while his chin, while his throat was still protected.
Why can't I
He
find
just tapped to the
this?
pressure, in my opinion. But Terrence McKinney, I still stand by it. He had the win over Matt Favola, and the Ferris Dion win was both finishes good. I just do not see him beating Drew Dober. I mean, and most people would know Drew Dober from getting finished in that last, well, not his last fight, but with that fight with Islam, which was a fairly good fight until he got finished. I believe it was the third round. But that Brad Riddell fight with Drew Dober was one of the greatest fights I've seen in a while. And I still hold Brad Riddell in high regard. I don't see I don't see Terrence beating Drew. I mean, he's fought pretty much all the leftovers and and all the just he's fought leftovers pretty much. Terrence McKinney. I mean, granted, the first Zion, of course, he's not the comer as well. But Drew Dober, a man who was ranked just maybe 7 months ago, and a decent, very decent grappling, which is Terrence McKinney's stronghold. I don't know. I think Drew will be able to force us on the feet, and I think he just completely outclasses Terrence on the feet. I'm going with Drew Dober by finish or decision.
I'm going Terrence McKinney. Let's move on to the next. Khalil Roundtree versus Carl Roberson.
Go ahead.
At the end of the day, I've learned my lesson betting on both of these guys.
Now Khalil is the favorite. He was the underdog just yesterday. So
We're a prediction site, but I mean prediction people. But these guys, I just don't know. I just wouldn't bet on this. I just wouldn't take this. It's not worth it. It's not worth it.
yeah,
You're not going to find any money in this unless you're going for. If you go for anything, I'd say go for knockout. I'd say someone just
not to go the distance.
yeah, bang it in for not to go the distance and just call it a day. I mean, my boy is from Neptune, New Jersey, though. They throw hands from over there. So just based off that, I really don't know, but I don't know. I feel like Roundtree has the weight on him.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with you on that. I'm just gonna tweak it a little bit. I'm gonna go with Roundtree by finish. I mean, Roundtree with that crippling win over Modestas Bukauskas really really impressed me. Um, Before that, he had got robbed by Marcin Prachnio. Everyone knows that it was a robbery from Marcin. That fight was crazy. Went over Eric Anders. Gets not, but he gets finished in the first round. Ian Kutalaba finished in the first round. Johnny Walker finished him in the first round. That no contest win with Mikalo, that was a weird one. I mean, Mikal pretty much dominated the fight, but things happen with eye pokes and stuff. But round one finish over Paul Craig. Look, losing to Andrew Sanchez. He's been around, man. He's been in the UFC for about 9 fights now. So look at Carl Roberson, finished by Brendan Allen, Marvin Vettori. Two very uh, strong names. Of course, you get finished in the first
He
round,
beat that boy
basically the
Duke
same time.
Wellington.
Another one, yeah, it was a weird one, but he beat Wellington Thurman. He's fought Glover, the current champ. Got finished in the first round. Both these guys are going to finish the first round. But look, Carl's fought some real look. Glover Teixeira, Jack Marshall. That was another impressive win. Finished Ryan Spann in 15 seconds. Crazy. Finished Darren Stewart. He's been around, but I think Khalil and his Muay Thai approach, just the styles, the style that they both fight at. I think this is going to be a lot of cage work in the clinch, and just a lot of elbows and knees from from Khalil. So I'm going with Khalil by finish.
I agree. All right. Let's get to the next one. You gotta stop touching stuff.
Alex Caceres versus Sadiq Youssef. Sadiq's coming off a loss, I believe, to Arnold Allen in a good fight, contested fight. Nonetheless, a loss, a deserving loss for him. So, but before that, finished Gabriel Benitez. Tough fight with Andre Philly, not in the UFC anymore, but has always been a strong fighter. Finished by Luis Gomez. Undefeated on the amateur scene. I mean,
What's the other guy looking like? Let me do it.
so if we go, I got Alex Caceres, the younger brother of Jose Caceres, the only man to beat Kamaru Usman. He's coming off that Swang Woo Choi where he was getting chipped up for that fight, but I, I I didn't make videos back then, but back in that time when that fight happened, I said there's worth a sprinkle for Alex Caceres to win by submission. If this man takes her back, it's pretty much over. Granted, Sadiq's a little bit smaller, so he won't have the leverage as he will. Kind of similar to like Michael Chandler versus Charles Oliveira. You don't have that same leverage, but I'm guaranteed that if Alex Caceres takes Sadiq's back, he will submit him. However, Sadiq is a very good overall, all around fighter. Very controlled on the feet, composed. He will demolish Alex on the feet. Will we get a knockout? I don't know, but as long as he can keep it on the feet and not give his back, I will edge towards Sadiq. But based off previous dealings with Alex Caceres, I'm not going to bet this fight. My prediction is going to be Sadiq, though.
I got Alex. Let's see what the world's thinking. You said.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, it's fair that everyone likes Youssef because Alex is a pretty much one trick pony.
We got that boy Marlon versus Young Dong Song.
Song Yadong, but yeah,
Yeah, I think this is a pretty easy one. I got Yadong. I don't know. I feel like that. I feel like Marlon. I mean, he's a good fighter. Marlon, he gets down, but it just hasn't been shown as of recently.
yeah, man. This is for me. This fight, it's either Marlon knocks him out in the first round, or he gets finished in the second or
Like
third.
he has Jose Aldo. He beat Aljamain
That was a
Sterling.
nice win, split decision win over Jose Aldo as well. He's beaten Jimmy Rivera, Aljamain Sterling, John Dodson, and he's only about 33 years old. If we go check
But then
check
he
his
lost
age.
people like Corey Sandhagen, Rob Font. It is what it is in those scenarios.
Yeah. But the most interesting was his last fight against Marab Vashvili. I mean, he had Marab knocked out. He had him on the fences. It was over. I don't know how Marab was able to recover. Marab was all on wobbly legs, just trying to get away. And he had him finished. But that's what happens when you have, a lot of times guys will smell the blood like a shark in the water, and they just go for it. Fatigue, all their muscles just winging for broke. That's pretty much what happened. He gassed out like in his other fights against Corey and against Rob Font. He gives it his all, and he's dangerous when he gives it his all too. But Marab still has some time to grow in my eyes. That was pretty embarrassing. I mean, to be honest, to almost have him knocked out like that. But as we seen with the Douglas Elite De Andrade fight, Song Yadong, I notably remember that Kyler Phillips fight on that Blachowicz versus Adesanya card, UFC 259. Knocked out Julio Arce. I'm gonna be honest. I had Julio Arce beating him that time. That was impressive. Split decision win over Casey Kenny. Draw with Cody Stamann. We know how controversial Cody is. But look at this. He has that decision win over Chito Vera and over Vince Morales. And also he finished Alejandro Perez in the first round.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this guy's track record really speaks for itself.
That's why I'm going with Song Yadong myself.
It does. And I'm going to go with, I'm going to agree that, and I'm not going to bet this one either as far as money line goes. I agree on the Song Yadong side. I just don't agree with Song Yadong in the first round. I think he's going to be in for a hellstorm for that first round. It's all a matter if he survives.
Yeah, I'm probably going to take with this one just the over 1.5. Well, this is
That's dangerous, bro. In my opinion, that's dangerous because that's
I don't
that's
know.
that's Marlon's bread and butter to finish dudes, give it his all, and he's dangerous when he does. But if he doesn't succeed, he gasses out. That's why it's 50-50. I'm gonna lean 60-40. I'm gonna go a little bit more with Song Yadong.
See what the world's thinking. Song.
Yeah, a lot of
I'm
people
telling the world.
rock with
Oh, he's
Song.
thinking about knockout. Maybe don't go with what I said. Actually, I'm sorry. Let's just go for the fight to be ended.
Indeed, finished.
All right. If you already checked through our last video, we already went over this, so definitely go find that one back on our page so that you can get a better understanding of what we're going with, just for more in depth. We don't really need to talk about it twice, just because we're going to link that in for you guys on the bottom. Um, we all went with Magomed. I think, like I said yesterday, Thiago Santos is becoming. He's gonna soon become. He's on his way to journeyman. 38 years old, still in the UFC, just trying to throw it. Some people just want to toss rockets at one another. That's just how it is. But it's starting not to go in his favor, and he's starting to really mess up what he's made so far. He's a good fighter still, and he can still knock out a lot of people. But I think at this point, they kind of just gave him this just so he could make one final run at it. And if he can't get this done, then he'll probably take a couple more fights and then just call it quits or something. Well, that's just in my opinion, though. We have, yeah, I'm just going. I'm busting down Magomed straight money line on this one. Just well, if you want to protect yourself in terms of the actual fight itself, though, I definitely go by finish. Magomed by finish.
Yeah. I mean, this is yeah. I'm gonna go. I'm going with Magomed. We did a breakdown the other day, yesterday, last night about this. Magomed just he's young, 29 years old, and he's proven himself to me. The Volkan Ozdemir fight. I mean, that fight really proved that the fact that it went the whole 3 rounds and he just completely outclassed him was impressive to me. Tiago, most people know him for having that fight with John Jones, which I do think he won. I believe he did beat John Jones. He got robbed, but these things happen.
It is what it is.
6'2", 76-inch reach for Tiago, and a 6'3" and a 75-inch reach for Magomed. So Magomed's gonna be the bigger dude, just pretty much the same reach. Tiago coming off that win against Johnny Walker, a 5-round fight. Nobody predicted that. I mean, but before that, lost Alexander Rakic, finished by Glover, and what a
Really
fight he
good.
should have won against John Jones. But look at that, beat the former champ, finished Jan Blachowicz, finished Jimmy Manuwa, finished Eric Anders. And then look, people don't even remember this. I mean, look at that Kevin Holland fight way back in the day. I mean, weird, no? But
No,
it
it's a
is
fact.
it is what it is.
He fights some good
Finished
people.
Anthony Smith, finished Jack Hermanson, finished Gerald Meerschaert, finished Jack Marshman, lost to the Bellator 185 champ Gegard Mousasi, one of the best in the world. That's okay. Lost, got finished by Eric Spicely. But yeah, his resume speaks for itself. But when you have a resume like that, it means you're pretty old.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, yeah, Magomed. I like this. I like Magomed to win this fight by finish. That's just what it is. Magomed likes to warm up in the first like round or two, just warming up, just feeling him out. But once he gets on, which is usually around in the third round, he lets him loose. Power in those hands. I'm going with Magomed by finish for this fight. But yeah, Magomed is the prediction.
Put that one in. That's it for me
But
too.
yeah, so let's get some parlays going. These past 2 weeks we did six leg parlays. Both of them went 4-2. I'm gonna try to crunch it down a little bit. Just for a money line, for just 4 picks. So let's check this out. We're gonna start it off with
I would throw down some money on write this up for me. Alex Caceres
by submission.
by submission or decision. It's later in the night.
Yeah. So Alex Caceres by submission.
By the double
Plus
one. No,
that's a
by
plus 400
not by submission or decision.
by finish.
No, by submission or decision. The double.
Plus 250 submission or decision Alex Caceres. Next.
After that, we're gonna throw that Song Yudong. I want to see a knockout for him.
Finish for Song
Yeah,
Yadong.
finish for him.
Okay.
Khalil Roundtree. Well, not Khalil Roundtree, but for that fight, for it to be a finish.
Not to go the
Yeah,
distance.
not to get the distance.
Very well. Minus 205. All right.
And then throw on. I'd say throw on that. Let me see. Let me see real quick right here. Throw on that Damon
Money line or by or submission.
money line.
And we have Damon Jackson. Money line. So that's there you go. Read your bets.
So we got Alex Caceres to win by submission slash decision. We got Song Yadong coming in for a knockout or submission. We have the Khalil fight to go the distance. I mean, wait, fight not to go the distance. We have Damon Jackson for the outright win.
And that ticket is plus 1722.
Slap that thing in. Tell
Decent
them
money
yours. I
there.
actually have to see a step back real quick and do something.
Indeed. So you go ahead and put $10 on that, you win 182. Let's get that. Now, yeah, for me, I'm gonna do a 4 pick parlay for you guys this time. I'm gonna go with this is rough. It's a tough card, but I like it. I'm gonna go with Magomed Ankalaev to win and over 1.5 minus 190. We're gonna add that. I'm then gonna take Sadiq Youssef to win and over 1.5 And then after that, I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with Khalil Roundtree money line. I'm gonna add him to that. And then I'm gonna go ahead and take Alex Pereira to win by. Let me just check this out right quick. Alex Pereira to win in over 1.5 is going to be my final play for that. So that's going to be plus 21.15. Put $10 on that. You're making 221. So that's my four-legger parlay for that. So
All right, yeah, that's about it.
yeah, that's what we got going so far.
Enjoy your day. Good luck betting. And remember, be safe with it.